Welcome to Mets Talk Live, presented by Raleigh BMW. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Shirt and the socks tell the story right there. My pocket square, nothing from Harper.
Jonas Schwartz,
happy to be filling in today. Joined again by Nelson Figueroa, Daily News baseball columnist John Harper, and our buddy Jim Duquette will join us later to talk LaRoche-gate, as I'm going to call it. Leading off, Matt Harvey will be the Mets opening day starter in Kansas City. Terry Collins making the announcement today. Obviously, with the incredible talent the Mets have in their starting rotation, it easily could have been another starting pitcher like Jacob deGrom. Here's the Dark Knight on getting the nod.
Terry could have announced anybody. So for me getting the nod, it's a huge honor. I think it's all about how we start and come out, and I definitely feel a year after surgery, I'm definitely 100% and happy about the honor and definitely ready for the battle. Yeah, it's going to be a fun time. I think we're all excited. We're all getting to a good place in camp where everything's kind of coming together. So as a whole, I think we're excited for that challenge. I think it's going to be great atmosphere. Obviously, going to Kansas City and playing against them, it's going to bring back a lot of memories, but it's also going to bring back a lot of fire.
Well, I thought about how he pitched last year. I thought about how he's throwing the ball this spring. We have some issues with a couple other guys, so I said of the 5 starters, I thought any 4 of them could start, but I decided to go with Matt because of comeback player of the year. He had a lot of things going for him.
All right, so Harvey's the guy. John, you spent most of spring at Mets camp. Any surprise it's Harvey?
No, not at all. They've been talking him up since he started throwing, seeing extra life on the fastball again, more spin on the slider. Worthen said he could be the best pitcher in the majors this year. And we know he wants to be the guy. I think that's part of it. I think this means more to him than anybody. And don't forget, I think just because of the way the season ended with him on that mound in Kansas City, or couldn't finish it off against the Royals in Game 5 at Citi Field, as electric as that was, I think he wants another shot at it.
No doubt about that. Nelson, did Terry make the right call here?
I think he definitely did. I think when you look at it with all the other factors, you got deGrom expecting a baby coming up here, and you got Syndergaard being young and pitching on the road against Kansas City, where he definitely lit a fire under them with that high fastball. I don't know if you want to put that out there day one. So it was a good choice. Again, it's a win-win no matter what. Between him and deGrom, you have 2 aces right there. So he's lucky to have these kind of options, and it was an easy choice.
All right, you mentioned the 2 aces, and we always hear fans debate, and perhaps some talk shows on this network, who's the ace of this team. But does this show you, Nelson, that the team thinks it's Harvey?
Well, Terry Collins thinks it's Harvey, that's for sure. And they're giving them the nod, and they're going forward with the plan as, he's no longer recovering from Tommy John. We don't know what we're going to get out of him. He looks a lot better than he did going into camp last year, which is hard to believe because that first game was so electric, throwing 99 miles an hour with a nasty curveball that he broke out, that he hadn't thrown in 2 years. Now all of a sudden you're seeing is a different Matt Harvey, very workmanlike down there, trying to be a leader, not just on the mound, but definitely off the field as well. And I think that really sets this team into motion, this rotation in motion when you started out with someone like Matt Harvey.
And there could be a clash of egos here, but I don't think deGrom looks at it that way. I think they still look at Harvey. He was the first guy. I think they still look up to him a little bit, even though, deGrom, really you can make the case he had the better year overall last year. But just because Harvey was going through Tommy John and everything else, I think deGrom will be fine with this, especially with the whole, baby issues, as you can relate to, Jonas.
Yes, I can. I like to call it the miracle of childbirth, as I said to you earlier, as we know him and his wife are expecting. But, it's interesting because talk about how the politics are in a rotation. Does anybody care in that rotation? I know these guys are close and they all root for each other, but does it bother any of them that they're not the one getting the start on opening day? Harvey is.
Well, we saw it last year when Bartolo Colon was named the start. Even with all this talent that they had going forth, with deGrom and Harvey being in that rotation, you were like, wait a minute, why Bartolo Colon? Well, usually that opening day start goes to the veteran guy or the guy who's won the most games, and that was Bartolo Colon. So there was really no reason to doubt that. This year, coming back, you had 3 guys with 14 wins, so really it became, now you can see the writings on the wall. Matt Harvey's no longer rehabbing. He's back to full force. What we're going to see out of him this year will be even better than last year. Jacob deGrom is taking a backseat to no one. Let's make that very certain. And so once the baby comes and he's able to do what he does, you got 1A and 1B, and nobody's really complaining.